A 3 year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. So, a 3 year study was conducted by United Nations using satellites and aerial photography, and they observed that the environment in the 88 countries in which they had investigated, in which they had closely monitored, the condition was very bad. It was critical, it was very bad, it's very serious. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. And there is no doubt that all this is happening because of overpopulation. The growth of world population is a very strong factor for disrupting, damaging the future of human society. This is the cause why the environment also is getting degraded. It took mankind more than 1 million years to reach the first billion. So, first billion population became after the number became billion after millions of years. It took millions of years for the population to come to the first billion. That was the world population around the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added. Now, within 100 years, 1 billion more was added. And the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. So now the population is increasing at an increasing rate. The present world population is estimated at 5.7 billion. Every 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. Now, this was the data when this article was published. Now, the data is much different. It is much more. It is much more, and this fact remains true that the population is increasing at an increasing rate. Fertility falls as incomes rise, education spreads, and health improves. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. Now, it has been observed that when incomes of people rises, education spreads. And when education spreads, health improves. And it has been observed that rich, that is, people whose income is good, they have fewer children. Their families are small, they don't have large families. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. That is why it has been said that with development, that is, with rise in income, the families become small, and so it acts as a best contraceptive. Contraceptive is a device or a practice of controlling pregnancy, that is, birth rate. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. But if the number of people keeps increasing, if the population keeps increasing like it is, development will not be possible, because it is not possible that all the people start earning more. So, that can happen only when there is very large scale development, but that development becomes difficult if the number of people is more. The rich get richer and the poor beget children. Rich people, they have smaller families, they are educated, they have good health, so they become richer. And the poor beget children. Beget means produce. The poor people, they have more children, which condemns them to remain poor, because of which they are forced to live in difficult and unpleasant situations. More children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. So it is wrong to believe that more children will result in more workers. As some poor people might think that more workers means more money, but it is not like that, because more children means more people without work. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized. So it cannot be suggested, it cannot be stated that people should be treated like animals and they should compulsorily, that is forcibly, sterilized. Sterilized means be made unproductive. But there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. But there is no alternative also, because voluntarily people rarely accept family planning. So, if people are to be made to accept family planning, methods by which the family is controlled, it cannot be possible without introducing a certain amount of force. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. So actually the choice is between either controlling the population or letting poverty continue for a long time. Perpetuation means to make something continue for a long time. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million today. This is the day this article was published. The population of India was estimated to be 920 million, more than the entire populations of Africa and South America put together. And that was more than the population of Africa and South America. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments. And anybody who knew the conditions of India would know that the people would die of hunger in their hutments, in their poverty, unless population control is given top priority. Unless and until population was controlled, it was considered of topmost priority. For the first time in human history, we see a transcending concern, the survival not just of the people but of the planet. Transcending concern means surpassing, concern that surpasses not just human beings but about the planet also. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. Now, we don't just think of human beings, the survival of human beings, but we have a holistic, a complete view of the existence of the entire planet. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. The problem of environment degradation does not point to our demise. Demise means our end. It is our passport for the future. Actually, it is our passport for the future. If people don't become responsible, don't become concerned towards environment now, the future generations will suffer. The existence of the future generations, that is our successors, will get endangered. It is not that the mankind will get wiped out now. It will be a gradual decline. The emerging new world vision has ushered in the era